Okay, I would like to call this meeting to order. It's not the January meeting, it's actually the February meeting, right. Monday, February 28th. And my first business is to approve the minutes of the meeting of January the 24th. What is your pleasures, folks?
I would move they be approved as presented.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Residents and citizen participation?
Hello,
Hello.
I'm Michael Reardon. I know some of you, and I'm here I've been here for about 4 or 5 years. I have 2 kids who live with me, and I'm also the treasurer of the resident association. And as I come to hopefully get more involved with that and more involved getting back to these meetings here and elsewhere, I can also speak for the resident association. And the president, Pumpkin Thatcher, she was going to be here tonight, but something came up at the last minute. But she knows that I'm going to, just let her know what took place.
Good.
Well, thank you, Michael. Do you have anything for the good of the order down here in Ledgewood that you would like to call to our attention? Or,
Not at this time. I mainly came just to listen tonight, but I'm probably speak up in the future and see what information you might need to know, or what can help you, or what we want to let you know.
You're always welcome. You know that. Very good. Follow up on previous comments under our residents' participation. There was a piece that we had in there. Yep. And that was a good little update. Some of the projects that we have in the pipeline. Does anybody have any comments on those, or want any further input? Hearing none, we'll move on. And the staff
May I
report.
comment very
You
quickly?
certainly
The doors into the community room are broken. So
That's what the statement was.
The statement
They're not
was, they're
broken.
not, okay, that's what I wanted to check.
They are not
because,
broken.
um,
The statement was that they are
Mhm.
broken.
Right.
Doors are not broken, I stated, I see it down here.
Yeah.
They're not broken.
Was that the issue of the chairs? The
Yeah.
wheelchairs? Yeah.
Yeah, and the statement was made that the doors are broken and they're not broken.
Anything to add on the Petco? Petco, as far as the...
Yes, we, I have a note from our consultant. As a result of the HUD interpretations, they have had to go back and redo the documents and the program. And where we're losing most of the money is in the contingency. We had a large contingency to pick up other projects, and that's been scaled back pretty heavily. So we're not sure what is going to be in the new documents. It depends on what they're finding. They're having a little trouble getting information from CVPS about one property. I think Sandy's helped them shake that loose. So she said the documents should go out to HUD by the end of this week.
The
So
young
that's where
lady
we are.
who was heading of that
Yes,
project?
it came in.
She hopefully is not getting discouraged from all of this.
No, I don't. I think that they, in the end, thought it was. They were very appreciative of our HUD facilities person, who really stepped up and did a great job of facilitating between the two entities, the guy and the HUD person in Buffalo and the Petco people, and I think they appreciated that they finally got this one big interpretation resolved. I mean, it wasn't resolved to the way they wanted it to be, but at least it's resolved. So.
Well, I may be wrong. I thought she mentioned that they work primarily with housing authorities. So they're used to dealing with HUD
Yes, and they have run
on
into
almost every
this.
job they go into, so
Yeah.
that wouldn't, that, that would be further insurance that they are not easily discourageable.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
and they've run into this problem before. The problem is most serious as housing authorities get smaller. And then the interpretation that HUD is sticking by now is one that's really detrimental to small housing authorities. It really, the people running the program for HUD come from a energy services company that only works for the very largest housing authorities. So their lens is huge projects in huge housing authorities, and Petco's lens is for smaller housing authorities. So that's where the real sort of disagreement was coming over this one particular financial
Oh,
piece. And now I think they've resolved it. The Petco people are gonna go out and meet with the Buffalo people, and they're gonna keep pressing their case that small housing authorities need to be able to do this, and the more that HUD, constrains the budget, the less likely small housing authorities are gonna be to do it and
Right.
be able to do it. So I don't think they're giving up, but
well, good. No, but that's-
they're at least found a way to keep ours going forward. They actually had a housing authority about our size, maybe a little bigger, that had run into this same interpretation with HUD, and not Petco, but it had taken 11 months
Mhm.
to wrangle it out with HUD, and in the end, the housing authority just dropped the program. I mean, 11 months later, they said, forget it.
Right.
So this is really good news that
Yeah.
they've gotten ours unhinged so quickly.
Good.
So, we'll see what's there.
Well, she was so bubbly,
Yo,
she
she's not discouraged.
She was a buyer.
She's not discouraged. No, she's still charging up.
Just as an aside, enjoy Atlanta.
Oh, yes, I shall.
Good.
Yeah, to sort of stop and run, like,
Yeah, it's 2 days.
2 days.
Well,
Don't get over the jet lag.
Yeah.
It's all East Coast.
Well, it's very nice to be invited. I
Mhm.
think it's good recognition of all our good work. So.
Mm.
Good. Well, moving right along here, the asset manager for property improvements and repairs. Do you have anything to add on that, Chris, or do you,
Oh.
basically,
No, it's very complete.
yeah,
I think it's great that they're including the vacancy work and the reasons for removal, so you can get a sense of what happens there. It's good report.
and moving right along the same line here, property manager Heidi, her report here, pretty straightforward.
Interested in the very first association up and running at Ledford Heights, very motivated. A visit from the board would be great. Would an official
Yes.
visit be something you have in mind, or just every once in a while, one of us come by and see what's going on?
Oh, for you to come by Ledgewood? Oh, I'm not sure.
This is a suggestion from
Yes.
Heidi, saying that you've got your association up and running, you're
Mhm.
very motivated, really involved.
Mhm.
A visit from the board would be great, but we won't come looking over your shoulder
Right.
unless
No,
you
I
want us to.
I think the timing is such that this is the visit from the board.
Yeah, I don't know what that means, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you're here
They just
now.
wanted, they just wanted to make sure that,
I mean, I-
she was saying they're excited, they're
Yeah.
up and going.
I think
That's
generally,
what I wanted to
the residents obviously don't come to these meetings, and, we're having a third and hopefully first community-wide meeting Thursday night at 6 o'clock. And we're really, again, trying to bring people in. We did it with, Valentine's evening cookies and coffee that Monday night, and Thursday morning was coffee and donuts and stuff. We had
Great.
2 people come to each meeting, but those 2 for each meeting, well, because I remember thinking if we just had one person who comes, who's new that we haven't seen before, who shows interest, and we certainly did. We had both of the people the first day, and Ken came to both meetings, and so actually there were 5 people overall. Yeah,
That's
it was
great.
Yes.
That's terrific.
We'll keep trying to
Keep it
reach
going.
out to people as I went around putting the, flyers on doors repeatedly, or knocking and saying that there's the community lunch for the kids, for instance, this past week. And a lot of people continue not to really come out, and we're gonna keep trying to just work through the kids, as Pumpkin says, to try to be more positive.
Absolutely.
That's great.
Great, that's good news.
Mm.
Okay.
How's the rentals coming, the commercial rentals on Richards?
We have a contract with a real estate agent to help us with that. And we have 2 or 3 people that continue to be interested, but no contracts.
A lousy market.
There? Yeah.
Is the court staying there for any
No,
longer?
the court's
They're
gone.
They're gone.
Oh, they're gone.
Good space,
That was a nice custom.
Yeah, no. I mean, now you can see why, that building would still be sitting there totally empty.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of empty properties in town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was over in Bennington, and I think it's worse.
Now, where are all those people that saying we're taking all this commercial property off the market?
Yeah.
It would be nice for them
They
to
should be
realize,
grateful.
yeah, to realize that, yeah.
We actually really did do a good thing for Westby.
Truly,
Yeah.
exactly. I see the section 8 here. Do we have anything, seems like that is another one of our projects that gets set back, you take 2 steps forward
Yeah.
and 3 steps backwards, and just that, but section 8, I just was wondering, we had that on a waiting list here for such a long period of time.
Well, as David
Feel
says,
free to
it's
buy.
still at 113,
Yeah.
and he's approving applicants that made their application in May of 2008,
Yeah.
so, yeah. And we did that big ad that was in the paper, which was supposed to only be that big, and ended up being the whole page.
Yeah, I know it's your profit.
Yeah. We did get a response, and David is working with the Wyndham Housing Trust on that. So.
But David did beat up the ad rep at the paper, said, well, we only paid whatever it was the last time we did
No, we
this,
only
you know,
paid
that's
for
over
what we,
our pay.
yeah, no, we only.
But it also generated some additional interest.
They
which-
did, yeah.
Which is good, right? Because other people don't always think about it, you know.
Yeah.
Well, it's a
Might
full
be
page
an option.
ad now.
They noticed,
I don't give those away.
And, the only other people that do that are car dealers.
That's right.
We should have put President's Day.
Right.
Basically, all of the information here on section 8, Shelter Plus and Pathways was in this little,
Yeah.
little pink thing right here. If anybody has any questions or any comments that they'd like to make.
I would just add, David mentions that Sadie Fisher, who's the field director for the Agency of Human Services in Bennington and Brattleboro, she and I have, and with David's help, have retooled some of the pathway documents, and it was really time to take a look at them. I mean, the program has been up and running for 5 years, and so we've done that, and today we were going to meet with the Oversight Committee and review them, and between the weather and Sadie not able to attend suddenly, we've had to put that off.
Okay.
But we'll be doing that soon with everybody.
Is there any follow-up to see the effectiveness of this housing for people?
Yep, it's part of David's report, and one of the 2 major benchmarks or
I mean, to have them say that all the participants
Yeah.
who were housed in Pathways remain housed,
Mhm.
rather than going back to being homeless.
Yeah.
That's very helpful.
Yeah. There's really two main markers for the state. The word is just zipping out of my head. One is that they remain housed, and the other is that they find housing after the program ends. And usually people find alternative, affordable housing before the 2 years are out. And they go to it, which is really great. Good.
Hayes Court facilities, update, progress of that, Dave?
The Hayes Court, I had a little bit in that email I sent you. We are working on on 2 or 3 different fronts on that. We've got to look at the HUD regulations. We have some people coming in to do a study of the property mid-March. We've met with the site engineer and the architect. We've met with the implementation team, so we're sort of pushing away on all different fronts, and we're looking to see about the bleak news from Washington doesn't help the funders feel comfortable about issuing bonds for us, but we'll keep pressing on that.
Right.
So just the news is affecting our...
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because we wanted to use some HUD bonding programs, and VHFA is saying, well, we're not sure we want to issue a bond, are you going to have any money? So.
Yeah, because the people that buy the bonds, the ones, somewhere it's gotta go to the open market. And that's as volatile anymore as the stock market is.
Well, what we pledge is, we pledge our capital fund, and when VHFA, the Housing Finance Agency, hears that that's gonna get cut 40%, then they go, well, how's little old Brattleboro gonna have any money left to pay its bond? Well, true.
I guess I'm a little bit more optimistic. I don't think they're going to be able to slash as much as they want to.
No, I don't think they will.
I just don't think it's going to be politically possible.
That's a scare tactics.
Yeah,
I think you're right.
no, I don't think so. But it is causing some.
Oh, yeah.
I see that little piece here you have on
Yeah,
SASH.
this is the
Support
new
services, yeah.
SASH logo for everybody's. There is a colored
Very nice.
one, but
Yeah.
we just thought we'd change it.
Do you want to hold it up?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have now met with all the members of our local table. I should have brought the list. It's very exciting. Oh, Rob Simpson from the retreat was there. Hospital folks is just a great group of people representing a lot of different interests and organizations. So we have the VNA at the table. We have, of course, Joyce. So it's a great local table is what it's called. It's an advisory group. They're very excited. Really loved it at the end of one of the last meeting we had. One of the folks there looked across the table and said, "Wow, this is really so incredibly innovative. This is really great." And I was like, "Yes, and you all get to help us, get it up and running." So there's, I think, a lot of enthusiasm, and we're going to have another meeting with the local table probably in April, and we're looking to start the program in June now. They're still wrangling over how the money, the whole blueprint and rolling out that funding, but it's very secure, and there's just a lot of enthusiasm at the state level for the program and its piece in the overall blueprint and in healthcare reform in the state. So.
Can you, what is the SASH program? Can you summarize it?
Sure, it's a program of supported services that is going to start in our elderly and
Okay,
non-elderly
so-
housing.
Oh, and non-elderly, but would it be of interest in the Ledgewood residents, do you think, in the future?
Well, in the future, we hope that it will be the model that they use for coordinating services for all of the programs the state has. So for the Medicaid group, it would be used. It's not dissimilar from the work that Michelle does now.
Michelle Care.
Michelle Care, yeah.
People
but-
who may be on SSI or SSDI, but are not.
They are eligible, yes.
Mhm.
So we're hoping that this is a pilot that we're running, a demonstration. There are going to be 6 in the state. We're one of them at Melrose and Hayes. And we, of course, what you'd call us, the Sashites, really think that this is the way to deliver services to folks. So we would hope that we'd see more of this happening and that it would be the way that services were coordinated for folks in all of our housing.
Okay.
To really connect people to not just the health services, but all of the other services in the community.
Mhm. If I were to Google this, would I look under Vermont SASH program? And
Yeah,
okay.
and you'd
I'll
find it.
from there.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Actually, the email I got today from Collaborative Family Healthcare Consortium that I've been a member of for a long time talked about its being at a tipping point right now. And this is a good example of that. I mean, this is truly collaborative healthcare, bringing in not only medical needs, but social services needs as well.
Yeah, that's what's really great about it. I'll make sure that that we get the list of the local table folks to you. Because it's really it's really neat to look and see how many people are helping us. And you'll know many of them and should thank them.
Yes, indeed.
So.
We talked a little bit about the energy program. Do we have any further on the energy?
No, I think that was it.
Okay.
Really.
Just to keep it on our,
Yeah.
on our
You know,
agenda.
I noticed that when they did do the overall recommendations, they kind of avoided looking at heat, which is a major cost for energy. And I'm sure they had very good reasons for it. I'm just wondering if you know any specifics.
You mean changing the heat?
Well, they didn't do any energy conservation measures, at least as far as Elliott is concerned, for the heat.
I'm trying to think. No, because we're doing the windows and the
Yeah,
sliders,
yeah.
and all of that is considered helping the heat problems. We're going to be looking at the community room and certainly putting airlocks down in the entryways. So all of that really, those are heat improvements because we're
Oh,
really
yeah,
tightening
there's
up.
no question about that. I guess
Yeah.
what I'm
But
thinking of, it leaves room in the future, as energy prices go up, to make redoing that heating system much more attractive.
it might be, but redoing, well, the high-rise seems to lend itself to redoing the heating system and putting in a central boiler or something like that.
Or something like that.
It's actually very, very hard to do in that building because of the slab and steel. So of all the places, it is the most expensive and the most difficult to do. And it would mean actually taking people out of their units for some time to do it, which is why everybody's always focused on the high-rise and said, that's the building
That
you should
seems
do it.
illogical.
But it's really not when you
Yeah,
get into
yeah,
the building envelope and the building, the works, the systems inside the building. It's a very difficult thing to do and very, very expensive. So right now,
It just didn't fit.
it doesn't, you don't get the savings
The
back.
payback isn't there.
So,
Yeah.
frankly, electric heat has to get to be a lot more expensive before it makes sense to do it.
It will.
It probably will.
Sure will.
It probably will, but
That's-
right now.
That's why everybody's talking about this now. What are we doing if when Vermont Yankee 2012
Yep,
closes
yeah.
its doors? What are we gonna be doing about this electricity that we're getting from Vermont Yankee now? And that's a whole subject. I don't wanna get started on that, but I'm just throwing it out here because it will be a problem.
Do you really want to talk about that?
Well, no,
If you've been following the papers,
I'm just,
the two utilities are well aware of that. They're making deals with Hydro-Quebec and others,
Yeah.
so I don't think we're gonna be left in the lurch.
oh, no, I don't think so yet, but it's scary. Anyway, I'm in our, part of our program right here, we're talking about Brattleboro Housing Authority vacancies. And it's on the green pieces of paper that the office has sent to us.
I had a few things I wanted to bring to your attention. One that I've mentioned before, and that is at Hayes, the second floor, 0 bedrooms have really, they have been more difficult to fill. And Kim has worked very, very hard, as has Heidi, to fill them. And they're really tough. So we're seeing those come back as tough units to fill. The other is at Ledgewood, where we've been working away at a unit that was in pretty rough shape. And you can see we have a lot of days attributed to modernization. That was an apartment that really needed to be almost entirely rebuilt in the inside. So that's on there. They've still done a good job. I mean, our turnaround days minus the mod days is at 18, which is great. The other is that on the very back page, where I have been keeping track of how many total vacancies, I just wanted to point out that as of February 22nd, we'd had 58 vacancies this year, which is the highest that we've had over the last 6 years. 7 years, this being the 7th. So, a lot of vacancies, and there'll probably be some more. We've got to finish February and then March, so we might crack 60.
What is this attributed to?
Well, what I can tell you is that we had more people at the 3 elderly, non-elderly, disabled. We had more people go into facilities, res care and nursing homes, and we also had more people pass away this year than we have in the last few years. So that's really contributed a lot. As you can see next to there, you can see Melrose, we had 16 so far, and that's really high for Melrose.
Right.
Actually, the families are down.
They're staying.
Yeah, we haven't had, that's, 9 is really, that's a pretty
So
low
basically,
number.
there's nothing we can do about this. This is just
No.
happening to us.
No,
Well,
this
it's
is
going to
just,
be demographics also.
sure,
Yeah.
People who moved in here have now aged
Yeah.
through.
Oh, yeah.
exactly, yeah.
And this period of time, and also the period of time just in early fall, seems to be a peak
Oh, yeah.
for deaths.
Yes.
And this has been a hard winter too, for a lot of these people. You see it in the obits in the paper.
Yeah. And I also added our Richards building onto this, so you can see that we have one vacancy there. But otherwise, still, it's a great job, and I think that Sandy and her outfit and Michelle and Heidi and Kim are really doing a great job of communicating and getting these units turned around and filled.
Chris, just as a question here, because the second floors in Hayes Court are such a real problem as far as renting goes, and because of our plan to do some renovating down in that area, is this something that we ought to keep on, at least on the front burner?
Oh, it is, very much. Oh, yeah.
Because if we do any changing of any of those pods that we have down there, maybe this will be another thing that we, because those buildings are, what, built in the 60s, were they?
They came 70s, I've now gone through those records extensively. The first 48 came online in the late 70s, and then it was finished and was officially completely finished in 72 when the housing authority took it back from Emo Ledger, and that's when the permanent financing bonds, permanent declaration of trust were put in place. So they're very old, and we can't put those lifts in them anymore. So, and they need an elevator.
Right.
And because there's no internal connection, it's always been a difficult nut to
Are
crack.
these 0 bedrooms equally distributed among the plots, or are they all concentrated in 1 or 2?
No, they're fairly equally distributed.
Making it worse.
Yeah, there's 4 out of the 72 units, 48 are 0 bedrooms. That's 2/3 of them are 0 bedrooms, and they're nice, big. They're really very nice, large rooms. The kitchens are a galley kitchen, and the bathrooms are certainly reasonable.
I remember when I looked at them, several people had like awnings or what would you call them, drapes.
Yeah.
So they made them into 2-bedroom
Yes.
kind of things.
No, they're very,
It was a big room. It was a very large room.
the one room is a very good size. I would say that one of the issues is that now, if you look at the renovated or new units coming online, that let's say Wyndham Housing Trust is doing, well, they're up to the standards and requirements of 2011, and we're dealing with property brought online in 1970. So it's really different, and even the efficiencies. Look at the efficiencies at the Richards Building. I mean, they're significantly different. They're probably not that much bigger, but they're really a lot different. And that's really what the issue is at Hayes. It's just, it has, well, none of our properties, with the exception really of the 2 family developments, the others have, take back, some at SEA have had some substantial interior work done in the apartments, but Melrose, Hayes, and a lot of units at SEA have not had really substantial interior renovations. Where we redid the first floors at Moore Court some years ago, we've been slowly redoing apartments here on turnovers, and that's really what we need to do.
This rent collection report that we got here, does anybody have any questions? Or Mary, you have anything you want to add on that as far as cash or income?
No,
The percentage.
our software provider has revamped this report extensively, so now it seems to be working properly again.
Very good.
So,
Those percentages are great as far as
yeah.
collection of that rent.
Yeah, I was pretty pleased.
Yeah, right. And this list of payables that we did in each of our agendas. Here for anybody to have any questions to ask.
We need a motion on this, right?
Well, he's talking about the checklisting report.
Oh, I'm
Check-
sorry.
just check
That's-
those things here.
Okay. Thought I heard you say charge off, so.
No, that's next.
That's next. And that's exactly next. It's on the green piece of paper, looks like so. And it's to charge off, request.
I would move that we approve the listed charge-offs.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? If hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Mary, your little piece here, financial statement.
Little piece, little
Somehow
piece.
never
just-
got on the agenda.
It is.
It is the agenda.
It is on the agenda. It's number 8.
Adopt the
No,
budget.
that's the budget. These
Oh.
are financial statements. That's a different
Oh,
thing.
financial statements, yeah.
Yeah, I know, that's old news.
That's so.
Are we, before we go there, is the check signing all set?
I'm
So
doing
we're
March,
set.
with
Okay.
the exception
It's
of-
doing March,
Yeah.
except for this Friday, which Bill will do.
And
I will
then
scoot up.
April is March. Okay, thank you, I just wanted to make sure. Now, Mary,
And,
you
and,
may
and,
do
and
your.
then it'll be
You're on,
May,
Mary.
And it won't be snowing anymore.
Now, Mary, you may.
Yeah, I didn't really, that's the problem with financial statements, it is old news. And I don't think there was anything really too astonishing, which is why I hardly had anything to say about them. The one thing that continues to be a concern is the Housing Choice Voucher Program, where our administrative fees have been pretty minimal anyway, and going forward, they're threatening to cut them back further, which just strikes me as very unreasonable, but there's not a lot we can do. There's not really a lot of fat there.
No,
So,
not for what you have to do.
no, but I don't know if Chris got the article that I emailed. I was reading the New York Times this morning, and I noticed that the New York City Housing Authority has been going through a computer conversion and having considerable difficulty, apparently. But, and talking about their Section 8 program in particular, they have had 2 separate databases for applicants, and then once the applicants are approved, issuing them a voucher. So once an applicant was approved, all the data had to be re-entered for, tens of thousands of people. I
You
mean,
mean like this?
yeah. Insane, which
Say,
I tried to send it to Chris and David. Of course, I couldn't remember David's
I
email
will cut it
address
out
because I
for you.
was at home.
I'm running a vote.
So we're in quite good shape compared to that.
Well,
At least
actually,
we know what's going
it's
on.
interesting. I sit on at the Housing Authority Insurance Group, the IT group is looking at software. And one of the reasons that we're looking at software is because the large housing authorities have an absolutely horrendous time with all the software that is out on the market. And they have things like this. They end up sort of cobbing together 3 or 4 different huge programs. And they just can't really
And
get
I
it to
think
work.
part of the problem, I mean, when our little programs, the size of our actual database
Yeah.
is substantial. Can you imagine multiplying it by 100
Or more.
or more?
Yeah.
Probably
I mean,
1,000.
just
Yeah.
the sheer
Yeah,
size of the
yeah.
data that has to be managed is a problem.
Mm.
The quantity.
Yeah, yeah.
In this short tenure that you've been here with the housing authority, you can see things have changed
Oh, yeah.
dramatically as far as workload goes. You know,
Mhm.
just, and
And, oh, yeah.
you can tell.
Oh, well, it's, the program du jour with HUD.
Yeah,
What we always
Well,
call it.
I think we were it was very fortuitous that we brought our finances in-house when we did. And
Yes.
we have it upon Mary when we
Yes,
did.
right, exactly.
Some kind of gods were smiling at us.
You had this little piece in here too, Mary. You want to comment on that right here? You enclosed the first draft of our fiscal year 2012 budget.
That will be an
What?
executive session.
Yes.
Oh, that will be, oh, I'm
Yes,
sorry.
we'd like to.
Okay,
And I would like to comment
okay, all
on
right.
it, not in public.
I will,
Because it involves personnel.
It does.
okay, good, then I
Yeah.
stand corrected.
No, that's fine.
Well,
But we weren't broke as of the end of December.
we are not broke yet, and
Not yet.
fortunately, we do have substantial operating reserves for public housing, which of course HUD wants to take
Yeah,
away from
we-
us, but.
Yeah,
I may have sent you
Which
that
were
letter.
mandated by
that
us,
we
but
got.
that's okay, yeah.
Where,
And don't you dare try to spend it when we want.
and I was going to, I had it all figured out that morning, and I came in and got that, and went, oh, man, rats. I was spending it all.
before they take it away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was my thinking.
Okay, well,
Anything else, or
guess not, I was just gonna say,
I would move we enter executive session to discuss a personnel matter.
motion's been made and second to go into executive session. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries. We are in executive session.
Is this what-